catch this breeze, freeze. Stop you in your tracks, there's not no preseason. We seeking W's like Tupac used to throw up. Forget it, might as well forfeit, your team shouldn't even show up. What you wanna be when you grow up? They used to ask me. Naturally, I chose an athlete. Competition never matched me. We ain't go together like camouflage and polka dots. Focus on your position, just know your spot. Sure, don't stop, it's a long season. They planning on winning for the wrong reasons. Trying to get my number retired, can't let these frauds beat us. I figured out the recipe. Never let opponents get the best of me. I'm focused on my legacy.
I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard on the job.
A battle for division supremacy. It's the coach. This is the 2019 season on EA Sports. Coming up, we've got 1 versus 2 in the AFC East, as it'll be the Buffalo Bills taking on the New England Patriots. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, it is clear, but it is cold here today as EA Sports takes us to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. All the success in New England over the last few decades, and this crowd has never been more enthusiastic. A moment ago, the Pats emerged from their locker room. They are set as they'll square off with the Buffalo Bills. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Patriots team entering play. They've been playing their best football of the year, winners of 4 in a row.
And the way they played last week defensively, you look at the tape, it looks like they had extra guys on the field, and they thoroughly shut down that offense.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Bills, it's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the entire offseason to rest. All they care about is the game in front of them and finishing strong.
The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. So here are the Bills being led out by their quarterback, the 7th overall pick of the 2018 draft. It's Josh Allen. Of course, the Bills, they've been looking for a franchise quarterback for a number of years, and now they think they have their guy. He certainly had his moments as a rookie, including an impressive win in Minnesota in his second NFL start. Here's Allen to throw it. And this one caught by Beasley. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Here's Frank Gore, the veteran who sits 3rd all-time in rush yards. And this Patriot defense up to the challenge once more as they again stop him behind the line. 3rd play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. So the shotgun snap to Allen. Allen hit. He lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. He got it stripped. You can see the panic in his face from up here through the helmet. He was able to dive back on it.
A good bit of fortune for him, because oftentimes on a strip sack, when that ball is wrenched out of your grasp, it can go in any different direction. It can go way away from you. In this case, it didn't matter. He was able to get on it.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Now Brown. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Patriots take over. And the Patriots come out led by the 4-time Super Bowl MVP and owner of a record 6 Super Bowl rings. Arguably the greatest to ever play the game, Tom Brady. And we keep asking the same questions every year. How much longer can he keep doing this? Is this the year the dynasty crumbles? And every year, Brady comes out and leads his team to the Super Bowl. They've been there now 3 years in a row, and only one team has made it 4. That's the Buffalo Bills. But remember, they lost all 4 in the early 90s. They'll run with a former Super Bowl hero. It's James White. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. And let's give you a look here at the New England offense.
It's hard to know who exactly to feature when you do a Patriots game, but in this case, we're going with James White, the running back out of Wisconsin. Highest receiving and rushing totals in 2018, just under 1,200 yards. Remember a few seasons ago against Atlanta in the Super Bowl? He had an MVP-esque performance.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
72.
Brady gives this to White. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain there of 21 yards.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to, but they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run.
Check right. He's coming.
Sugar.
First down, here's White. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Defensively, here are the starters for Buffalo. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
Most of their challenges have come in the passing game because against the run, they've been pretty darn good. Now you've got to figure out a way to slow down those receivers before they get downfield and maybe make a few more plays on the ball when it's in the air.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now they'll throw with Brady. Got a man, it's Brown. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 12 yards there and a first down. The numbers for Antonio Brown in last week's ball game. 3 catches, 68 yards.
Look, I know everybody wants to be number 1 in everything they do, but he's number 2 in the league in receiving yards. That's a strong number, a strong year, and they want that to continue.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
66.
Brady. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete.
Pass interference.
Well, let's see who this is on. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
They'll run with White, and he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set him back for 2nd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Wait, set. Wide, 20. Check it. Go bandit.
Now on 2nd and 16. Brady. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now, they told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
Out come the Bills as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Hey, you're impressed, don't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games? Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadrupled. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. On the Gore. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action him or stick something to him between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 10 yards, good enough for a Buffalo 1st down. Beasley signed with the Bills in March just before his 30th birthday after 7 years with the Cowboys, hoping that he could be a very valuable slot receiver in Buffalo. Just under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The sack by Michael Bennett, the native of tiny Independence, Louisiana. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. To the air, Allen. And the pressure gets to him again.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. And the grab by Croft. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. Just a 5-yard pickup, but it leads to 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
Brady and the Patriots now 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. The drive starts with a run by White. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. The tackle made by Levi Wallace. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. On 2nd down, they'll run with White. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this 1st quarter. We're scoreless after 1. Start of the 2nd quarter from Foxborough. It's the homestanding Patriots with the football. They'll face a 3rd down conversion attempt here, 3rd and 3. To throw is Brady. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a 1st down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up 4th. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
They do go for it. It's Brady. And it is incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Bills are going to take over in excellent field.
I don't know why you would do that. It's almost guaranteed points the other way. I mean, I get it if it's a late game situation, maybe even 4th and inches. But, boy, that's a huge risk to take.
Yeah, now they're set up in prime position going the other way. And able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And he'll get this one down to about the 17. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go. Allen from the gun on 3rd down. That's caught by Brown for a Bills touchdown. John Brown with touchdown number 7 on the year, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, They use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever. There.
Allen's pass complete to John Brown. Touchdown, Buffalo.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stated...
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Hauschka with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it culminates in a Bills touchdown. This one taken from the 7. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Hard to believe, but the regular season's starting to draw to a close. We've got the final Sunday night game of the year coming up later tonight. Matt Nagy and the Bears hosting his mentor, Andy Reid, and the Kansas City Chiefs. That'll be a good one from frigid Soldier Field. And then tomorrow night, the final Monday night game of the year, Packers and Vikings from Minneapolis. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him, but don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
When they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
Yeah, nobody leaked. Big play. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Shadow!
Now a carry for White.
Check, crunch.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. That's a cornerback in for the sack, Tre'Davious White.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Oh, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
I hope everybody can hear my smile on that play.
And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
11 yards and a Buffalo first down. Allen going to come to the line here, 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. A running play on first down, and it turns into a fight just to get back to the line of scrimmage. Dante Hightower on the stop. Now on 2nd down, this is Gore. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards. Tell you what, you need the tough yards. You can still turn to the 36-year-old Frank Gore, now in his 15th season in the league. 10 in San Francisco, the 3 in Indy, quick stop in Miami, and now in Buffalo, and still making it happen. From midfield, here's Allen. Oh, Allen cannot get away, and down he goes. Mike Bennett in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Allen going to throw. Complete to Jones. And he's got Rome. The 20. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bills will add on to their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Hauschka adds the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Patriot offense heading back out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And for the moment, they're sitting pretty in possession of that number 2 seed and, more importantly, perhaps that first-round bye.
But they have to clinch it, don't they?
Yeah.
That's the key, right? So, in a sense, the playoffs have started. They've got to go ahead and get this thing done. Otherwise, it's a different road, and you really don't want to be at the mercy of other teams and their results.
That goes as a gain of 11 and a Patriot first down.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction, and when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
And now this pass brought in by Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 18 big yards on that one, and a New England first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the gun, it's Brady. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. Second down. Brady's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10. They go play action for White. Now it's Brady. This will be caught by Brown. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. Antonio Brown with touchdown number 12 on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. They were already down 2 scores early. They needed something to try to stem that tide, and that certainly qualifies. A big play to get them in the end zone.
It qualifies indeed because, let's face it, they don't get something done on this drive, turn it back over, this game could be 88 and out the gate early.
What? 88 and out the gate?
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, listen, I used to hear my old man talk about it. Usually meant that thing's done.
Oh, well, now that they got the touchdown, it's not 88 and out the gate. We still got a good game going ahead of us. Now Stephen Gostkowski on for the extra point. And that one makes it 14-7. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it ends with a New England touchdown. Gostkowski now, after the touchdown, he'll send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. They're starting to put some space here. You know, first quarter, they didn't look so hot offensively. This second quarter, though, they've looked really good.
They've jumped in the saddle in a big way now, and now they're in full gallop. I mean, before, kind of cantering around a little bit, right? Trying to feel their way, not getting done what they wanted to. But somehow they put it together with play calling, execution, and now there's a pretty big gap.
And they'll look to make that gap even bigger here. To throw again on second down. Allen, he was trying to get it to Zay Jones that time. Third down here. An incomplete pass on second down leads us to 3rd and inches. From the gun, it's Allen. Oh, Allen cannot get away, and down he goes. Dante Hightower in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Ryan Quigley now as he's on to punt for Buffalo. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. With it is Brown. A 46-yard punt, 4-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way. as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Brady. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Micah Hyde able to get a hand in and knock that one away.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
He gets it to ground, complete. Now the Patriots will use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Brady, 5 out of 10, 50% throwing it. Not so hot, but he does have a first down. Throwing now is Brady. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
Now, meanwhile, the throw by Brady knocked away, incomplete. Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker, able to break that one up. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Brady. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. Josh Gordon, the intended receiver. But now it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Brady now to throw. He's going to fire one deep, and that's caught inside the 30. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. Now a signal and a timeout call, as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Brady to throw again. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. The weather might be cold, but the playoff races are heating up here on this final Sunday before Christmas. So let's get to it. We'll kick things off with an AFC matchup at MetLife Stadium. Pittsburgh taking on the New York Jets. And it's the Jets who are out in front in that one. Jamison Crowder, a touchdown reception. From there, we'll stay in the AFC East as we jet down the coast to check on the Dolphins at Hard Rock Stadium. And for the moment, they find themselves trailing the visiting Cincinnati Bengals. Andy Dalton with 3 touchdown passes. Lastly, we're off to the Rocky Mountains, Denver, Colorado. See what's happening with the Broncos. And they trail the visiting Lions in that one. 2 touchdown passes for Matthew Stafford. In the game you're watching, it was Josh Allen who was on target in that first half. His guys have the lead, as we'll hand it back over to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This one taken from the 7. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Elsewhere, second quarter in D.C. And an early advantage in that one for the Giants. Eli Manning with 2 first-half touchdown passes. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Hey, alert 3. Twist. 72. Check 3.
They'll start the drive with a give to White. He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They keep it on the ground. White again. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 11 yards there. First down.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side, the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
On first down, White. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
From midfield, here's Brady. Oh, he can't get away, and Brady will go down. Jerry Hughes has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Tough spot for the Pats now after the sack as Brady will lead them up 3rd and long. Working from the gun, it's Brady. That's complete. It's Gordon. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up 4th.
I'm guessing, partner, that if we're in the huddle with the Patriots right now, there's not a single guy that thinks they have any chance of coming back in this one, especially not with Tom Brady.
Yeah, who's Tom Brady? What's he done in the past as far as comebacks are concerned? They're down right now, but that can evaporate quickly with him in the huddle. Brady now 8 of 15 through the air, but it's 1st and 10 here.
No, 66. 72.
On the toss, here's White. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. Continues to be a struggle for this offense and this home crowd. They're growing a little restless here in the second half.
And I think they've just got to look at how they're trying to move the football. Yeah, you want to run it, but maybe you spread it out, maybe some swing passes that can take the place of runs and give you a little more space.
This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. Shotgun now for Brady. And he fires one, but incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Brady to throw for it on 4th down. Over the middle here to Brown. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 4th down, no problem. 19 yards that time, but now it's 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down. White, and they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Operating from the gun. Brady to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, You better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at the 20. Time to establish the run game. It's Gore. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23. Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Now Allen. And he finds Beasley complete. And he's able to get up here to the 26. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. And here's Allen from the gun on 3rd down. Oh, Allen cannot get away, and down he goes. Michael Bannon able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. And that sack certainly just strengthening his candidacy for Defensive Player of the Year. You think he's got that one in the bag yet?
I'm not willing to vote quite yet just because I want to wait until the season's over, but he is really tracking towards it. Just look at all the great plays we've seen from him throughout the season. Strength plays that you referenced there, as well as agility plays. They just have not found a way to block him consistently.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
72.
Opting to run again here with White. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. The tally there, minus 2 yards. Brings up 3rd down. 1 quarter remains here in Week 16. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. New England on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll try to pick this up on the ground with White. He can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Brady's throw there complete. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
7 yards there and a 1st down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Tom Brady needing a 4th quarter comeback here. He's actually only done it 8 times in the last 5 years, but if you break that down further, the Pats in those years rarely losing in the 4th quarter like they are now. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. Antonio Brown can wreak havoc in so many ways. Here he's able to cause a PI penalty.
He runs at defensive backs with such speed and power. I think it creates panic on their end, and a lot of times they just...
And he's in! Touchdown, Patriots! Nyheim Hines, his second touchdown on the season, as they can now even this game here in the fourth quarter with the extra point.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right? If
they're smart, they do.
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Out come the Bills as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And pretty good results here on the first down run as he takes this forward for about 6. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. And here's carry number 10 for Frank Gore. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming. Throwing is Allen on third. Short throw hauled in by Croft. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Here's Ryan Quigley now. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Taking it about the 16. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And that will come the offense as they take over. Here comes Tom Brady and the Patriot offense back onto the field. So, Charles, there are the numbers. What's happened here? Defensive adjustments that's caused him to sort of fall off a bit?
I think so. That has to happen. You've got to make some changes because in the first half, they were pretty effective. But the second part is sometimes when you're doing really well, you get off your game a little bit. You get off the gas a little. You're like, okay, we've got this thing. And that's not necessarily the case. Maybe right now, someone just needs to tell a joke in the huddle, loosen things up, and get their big guy going again. And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Brady's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10.
Regular. Watch out. Hey, second.
They'll try the right side here with White. And a fast footwork by White. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Brady going to throw. Gets it to Gordon. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1.
Hey, 66.
On third down, it's Hines. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. They're able to convert with a gain of 4. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Here's Hines. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, they had that one snipped out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to do. Else.
Hey, Delta, you ain't got nothing. You ain't got nothing. 58's the mic, 58. 58's the mic.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Brady, and he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. All tied up, less than 2 minutes to go. So the Patriots with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. He's going deep for Brown. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. Amazing. Perfectly placed. If that ball goes 1 extra yard, maybe not even an extra yard, the starting point is the 20.
So there is a reason that a lot of punters are also excellent golfers. They know distance control. You know what else they have? Same groove motion over and over. Once they have that down, it repeats under pressure.
And he is not going to get away. The rush was too strong, and this is going to wind up a safety. Gosh, this game's felt a bit weird all along the whole way through, and no better play maybe exemplifies that weirdness than that safety right there.
Partner, you've got a tie game and time running out. You've got to be ultra careful down on that end of the field, and this could very well be the play that decides this football game.
All day, baby, let's go. Let's go.
Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
Joker. Check me two. Check. Fresno. Alpha.
They stay on the ground with White. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Wait, 20. 50 seconds. Get in the weight room.
Brady to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Allen and the Bills now. Down 16-14. A minute 16 remaining. A 4th straight defeat looming on the horizon, barring a comeback here as they've got it with a 1st down. Back to throw. Allen. His throw incomplete. The tight end, Lee Smith, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. To throw is Allen, and he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Jamie Collins in there to drop him as that clock continues to run. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. So they're going for it, and here's Allen. Allen hit. He lost the football, and it's picked up by the Patriots. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return and a Patriot touchdown. This was a close game. They needed a little breathing room, or they got it right there on that return for a touchdown.
Yeah, we would say that this could be huge. Forget it. It was huge. Gave him a comfortable lead.
Gostkowski for the point after. And that makes it a 9-point game. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. This fielded at the 2. And with a marker down, he's up just past the 25-yard line, but I think they're going to be going backwards. Let's check the call. Well, that holding call set him up with not great field position.
Not at all when you tack on the penalty. With that field position after the return wasn't terrific. It's not a great starting field position as well.
Now Allen fights him off. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
They'll flip this quickly out to Beasley. He's at the 50, the 30, past the 20. And he is into the end zone for the touchdown. So they still need a miracle with a clock where it's at, but they get one piece to the puzzle done.
Still have hope.
Early on, you hit on it. Needing to avoid the big play. Easier said than done, though. There's a big touchdown. Yeah,
but the big thing is when he does get his catches, you've got to tackle him and get him on the ground. Obviously, weren't able to do it on that one.
Hauschka with the extra point, and that will get him one closer. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see.
And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down.
I'm coming back.
So this will wind up a victory for the New England Patriots. And I tell you what, they were big favorites coming in, but they had to work for this one.
It certainly wasn't the walk in the park that you expected coming into this one. I have a suspicion that in their meetings next week, head coach going to talk to them a little bit about focus, don't you think?
Yeah, because down the stretch, there was some nail-biting going on. And you're right. I think not only the fans, but those folks inside that locker room, they expected a comfortable victory.
Yeah, they certainly did, and that just tells you about the NFL. Any given game, you never know how it's going to turn out. You'd better be ready to play.
So for the Patriots, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they hit the 10-win mark now at 10-5. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Buffalo, they'll be guaranteed a finish of no better than 500 as they drop to 7-8. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.